There is a need, there is pressure everywhere on letting agents, managing agents for best practice policies, auditing, transparency, real-time and accurate consistent communications, offering consistent quality of service, leave that alone, and everyone has to be efficient. Commissions, response times to tenants. Actually managing lettings these days is not a joke anymore, it's pretty serious, and all of us are victims of it. Victims, we're exposed to it. So, we wrote Arthur for managing our own tenants. Now, it was written as a commercial application because we knew there was a problem in the main market for it. So, it is all about keeping your tenants happy, keeping your landlords happy, and we all know about referrals and recurring. We need tenants coming back, we need landlords coming back. We don't want any hassles. And the big problem where this all stems is on managing jobs. It's workflow. It's to do with a tenant phoning up with a problem, dealing with the contractor, getting the contractor the tenants on time, getting the tenant to talk to the contractor, 20 emails, lots of phone calls, lots of problems to get something basic fixed. And at the end of the day, then potentially you can have a big fight about the deposit refund at the end if you haven't got visibility. Now, so fundamentally, we wanted to produce something that was mobile. All the applications out there at the moment predominantly are desktops, and we wanted to be able to outreach to tenants, and we wanted to be able to give our landlords, some of them, not all of them, but some of them wanted visibility. We had situations where a quote would come in for a job, and you'd have to get authorization from the landlord. Now, as managing agents, really, we wanted to be in a situation where we were managing by exception. So you didn't want a situation where a tenant raises a problem, and then you're getting on the phone to the tenant, and then you're speaking to the contractor. We wanted everything to be as smooth as possible and as automated as possible, with complete visibility to all parties. Property owners is a sort of separate thing. You know, a lot of property owners say, look, I'm giving you a flat for £1,000 a week to manage, I'm not interested, just get on with it. So you don't want those property owners to be able to see what's going on. Some property owners just drive up the wall and they do want to see what's going on. So that's that. So what we did was we produced a piece of software which we started life as a mobile-based application. So if I look at my mobile phone, I can see my Arthur dashboard as a property owner, or as a property manager in our case, of what's going on, and I can see that I'm waiting for a tenant to come back to me, and come back to me yet, which is annoying. So what happens is the property manager has an app, the letting agent has an app, and there's a slight difference there, because you could have let-onlys and full management. Contractors can be invited to jobs, and tenants can see what's going on. Now, a lot of companies now are beginning to put portals on their websites to try and let their tenants log problems, try and let their property owners see visibility of statements and things like this. So there's a mega need for connecting people together. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Good. Fundamentally, what happens is tenant comes along, moves into a property, you get 26 phone calls saying, oh, I forgot where my contract is, can you tell me where washing instructions are, can you tell me what the alarm code is, where are the keys to the garden, where has all this stuff. So the tenant, the minute they take the tenancy, can have a login, and they can download an app. And it gives them everything they need to know about their tenants. We're talking a better service to your tenants, and I know for us, repeat tenants is a pretty important thing. The tenants can log an issue, and that issue can automatically be routed to a contractor, or it could be intercepted by the property manager who can decide what to do with it. The point is, there's visibility of what's going on. So if a tenant raises an issue, they can then UPS, they can track it. They can see lots of documents. They can see, you know, their contracts, they can see their notices, they can see washing machine instructions, and that sort of stuff. So happy tenant, literally. That's good news. You, as a property manager, if you have property managers who are out and about, can see everything that's going on in one place. We also have a desktop web page as well, so if you're office-based, which obviously a great deal of people are, they've got complete visibility of everything that's going on with the workflow. The contractors love this, because what happens is the tenant raises an issue, it can be automatically routed to the contractor, and the contractor can pick it up. So the contractor say, look, I've got jobs on offer, how many live jobs I've got, how many completed jobs I've got. So the contractors automatically can get offered a job and they can connect it. So this bit is like trust a trader, you know, find a tradesman, and it can link directly to this bit. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Now, a lot of the agents, of course, don't work with contractors who are just mobile operators or who are just single people running around in a white van. They operate with big companies, so like British or one of the big Pimlico plumbers or people like this, where a job is raised and it goes straight to the contractors system, and they issue the job to their employees. So we can deal with all of that as well. So Arthur basically started life as a communication tool, and it means wherever we are as property managers, we can see what's happening with vacant tenancies, what's happening with late rents, all the standard stuff you'd expect off a management system we can see, but you can also see things that are going to start going wrong with work orders. And it manages the whole thing in one place. So this fundamentally was the approach behind Arthur. Now what happened was when we wrote Arthur originally, there were two markets for Arthur. I won't beat around the bush. You've got the small semi-professional landlords who might have 5 or 6 of their own properties who don't use agents. There's that part. And then you've got the letting agents. Now, the letting, so quickly, not looking at the time, the letting agents have often integrated systems. We were talking about refits. There are loads of them. And if you go to a letting agent and you go, hey man, look, we've got this really great piece of software here, why don't you just track out your system and put this in? They'll just show you the door straight away, which is what you'd expect. So Arthur's been designed to be able to integrate with a lot of the other systems that are out there, so it could sit on top of it or as an adjunct to it. And what that means is those portals that all you guys are trying to write for your tenants and your property owners to be able to log in and do things, we've already done. So instead of you having to spend a fortune, and believe you me, it is a bloody fortune because we spent 2 years developing it, in having to write all of this workflow stuff for your websites, you don't need to do. We can do it in conjunction with your guys. And that makes it a very, very attractive proposition to add to existing systems, and it can integrate with existing systems. Now, of course, we haven't integrated to everything in Stock, and I'm sure there's going to be some stuff out there that we haven't integrated to yet. But generally speaking, it's been designed to be able to just gently plug in to other bits of systems out there. So that's fundamentally where Arthur came from. And with the smaller letting agents, it's obviously got accounting on it as well, because when you go to the smaller letting agents, say 200 managements or even less, they say, well look, hang on a minute, it's a mobile application, it runs on the web, it runs on my iPad, runs on my iPhone, I can do everything I want, now it's time for a change. So for the smaller agents, it's great as a complete system, and for the bigger agents, then it can connect to what you already have. Any questions so far? Am I making sense?
No, I think it's a great idea that you can add it onto your current system.
Yeah, they're white label, yes. When you do add it onto other systems, obviously it would say, Joe signed with Cell or Wingworth or whatever it was, it wouldn't say Arthur, just something Arthur at the bottom somewhere. So that's fundamentally where we're trying to take it. It's been very successful. And I say the whole thing came because we were in Sicily once, weren't we? Stuck at the top of this hill somewhere, and we had this tenant who had a real problem. And you're sitting there trying to get an internet signal somewhere, trying to sort it out. And you sit there and you think, something's got to change. We've got to do something where you can just manage your properties on the go. Now, when you've got management agents who are based office-based, that's not so important. But when you're one of those, agents like Bevis, where you're out and about the whole time, just having everything on your iPhone, it's just worth its weight in gold. Because you can literally, as we said, I think on our little videos on the website, you can run it from a coffee shop, which is fundamentally what Mark does. So we learned on our own portfolio of properties. So we're letting agents and managing agents for customers, but also, as I say, we have, say, collectively we've got 60 or 70 of our own units as well. So we know what it's like to be on both sides of the fence. And that's fundamentally what Arthur is. It's going very well, and I'd like you to be very interested in having a look at it, please.
Thank you very much, and well.